Hello and welcome to Las Blancas Podcast.
I'm your host Yash Thakur, and we are back with another episode of Las Blancas. This time around, we were facing Levante, and it was a goal fest. 2025 has been off to a good start, a derby win, and a big win against Levante, a six-goal win against Levante. Well, you know, this isn't the same Levante as it was last season or the season before that, where they were comfortably one of the top three sides in the league. And, they were scoring goals for fun. They were defensively solid, and it was a pain to play against them. But this was a depleted sort of Levante side, and we absolutely thrashed them. There was a penalty miss, there was a red card, and there was one fully dominant performance from us now. And it's been a while since we have had a goal fest, I think. And this sort of, players having fun scoring from outside the box, scoring beautiful link up play in the box and scoring good goals. So, for once it was fun to watch, and you know there wasn't much to sort of uh, dig deep into in this game. So, but we are going to do that. We are going to break some stuff down. We are going to talk about some key performances from this game. And as always, to do that, I've got Kanita with me. Kanita, how are you today?
Well, the only complaint I had about the game is that it took me way too much time for me to write down the descriptions of every single goal. And I was writing the immediate reaction line article, and and just as I was finishing the description of the goals, the sixth one was scored, and like, oh my god, stop scoring! And yeah, well, we did stop scoring after that. So yeah, that was my only complaint. But yeah, honestly, this is Levante, like you said, the different, totally different side and what we're used to. Like they're literally fighting a relegation. They're in 14th place now. They're actually tied with Depor, who is 15th now, like tied with points. So yeah, it's it's differently different Levante. It's like you said, depleted squad. Like it's not the side we're used to, and they had a major budget cut last year as well, so that was, yeah. But I didn't expect, like, like a game that would be like balanced or anything. I just The red card really made it even worse, and at all, with all that was the goalkeeper getting the red. So
I
yeah,
was even
but yeah, only one complaint, honestly.
getting a red is one thing, but your goalkeeper getting a red is like you are basically you're two players down at that
Yeah.
point, because you have to take somebody else out to bring a goalkeeper in. So that is even worse. Like that is the worst red card one can receive, basically a side
Yeah.
can receive. But yeah, I mean, right before the pod, like we were discussing about, their managerial thing, and how Levante has been depleted sort of. And, if you think about it, their front two of uh, Alba Redondo and Mayra Ramirez, like one of the best attacking duos in the league last season and the season before that. A player who used to score, like who scored 30 odd goals, who has scored 15 odd goals for them, like 15 plus goals in two consecutive seasons, both gone now. They don't have Redondo, they don't have Mayra Ramirez, they don't have their captain, who was their center back, Maria Mendez. She is gone. Antonia is gone. A couple of seasons ago, Toletti used to play in Levante. She is gone. Esther used to be in Levante. She is gone. So every single season they have lost key players, but until the last season, I think they still managed to find options. They still had a lot of quality in their attack who could step up and who could produce those moments. But now if you look at their squad, it looks like a shadow of themselves from a couple of seasons back, where you could have sworn that this is easily the second best side in the league, given that They were also tactically very solid under Maria Pri, and I'm talking about a few seasons back, right? Like they have undergone managerial changes, they have undergone playstyle changes, and they have undergone squad changes, and every single change has taken them in the wrong direction. Basically, it has been Maria Pri, it has been Villa Campa, then Sanchez Vera, and now Roger. I mean, it's not really uh, a positive trend, to be honest. Like they have evolved, but backwards, sort of. That is what has happened. Yeah, I mean it's not great to uh, see, because this is a side that in one of the Champions League qualifiers they challenged Lyon. They pushed them to the absolute edge, and they showcased to Europe that they are a side very much capable of doing that. So, and now they are battling relegations just a couple of seasons down the line. It's very shocking, and it's not a great look for the club. As you mentioned, there have been budget cuts as well. Like anything happens, like since the men's team is suffering, they have been performing really poorly. It, it's just like the immediate reaction is, okay, cut down the women's team, but which I don't get it. Like this is a side that was going to just on the verge of qualifying for the Champions League, and they failed. Uh, but yeah, I mean, the management and all, like we can talk about that, but it's sad. That is what it is, I
Yeah,
guess.
but the fall has been even steeper since like the beginning of 2024 when they actually announced the like budget cut, and immediately after Mayra left, right? Even then, like last season, for the remainder of last season, you can see them like going down rapidly, and then
Uh,
the squad just depleted entirely during the summer. We got free players from them like this summer as well. Their, like you said, their manager left, and yeah, honestly, I love Sanchez Vera. Just so you know, he's managing Real Sociedad now, but yeah, but definitely like you said, throughout the years, it's been a downfall. Like, but the last year, like since the beginning of 2024, like, when that was like announced, the budget cut, it's just been steep downhill.
yeah, it's been bad at the club, and it's sad, as much as they are a rival, but they are a side that gave the league a good look. On the outside, they were a good representation of the league as well, which is not there. I mean, you just look at their forward line. A forward line that used to comprise of Esther and Elba Redondo, then Elba Redondo and Mayra Ramirez. Now Chacon is their most renowned forward, so which is quite a fall from grace for them, I guess. But yeah, I mean, let's get into the lineups. As you mentioned, three of those players that Levante lost in the summer were to us, and you know for what it's worth, I think they are all quality players, and I'm very happy that we got them. It helps improve our squad as well. So let's quickly go through the lineups. It was Misa in goal, a rotated lineup this time around, which I wasn't expecting for it to be this heavy of a rotation. But then again, it's only the year has changed, not the manager. So
Exactly.
so it was Misa in goal, Antonia starting as the right back, Maria Mendez and Lakrar partnership at the center back, and Olga starting as always on the left back position with a double pivot of Teresa and Loipols. And like it was a still to this point, I think I would still say it was a 4-2-3-1 with Redondo in 10 when having that sort of a free role. So, maybe we can say it as a 4-2-3-1, and the front four sort of consisted of Athenea, Redondo in that number 10 role, Angeldahl and Naomi Feller leading the line, which is very odd, like when you picture it like that, but that is how it mostly happened on the pitch as well. So yeah, I mean, what were your initial reactions when you saw the lineup?
So yeah, as you can see, we have new graphics. I
Yes.
I did hope you guys like
Yes.
it. And yeah, I put this 4-4-2 on purpose because this is what basically looked like in the first half. And I was really annoyed. Like I whenever I would remember that we had Feller and Athenea on the pitch, and like you have two wingers, and you're not using both of them as wingers. So what is the point here? You're using Angeldahl. However, I wasn't complaining when I saw Angeldahl playing like how she plays, and we'll get to her. But yeah, and yeah, I mean, when you look at how Redondo played, yeah, you can say like with more of a like 4-2-3-1, like on paper there was that idea, but literally, yeah, with more pictured like 4-4-2. So that's why I pictured it as 4-4-2. So yeah, anyone who has complaints, give it well to me because I did the so yeah, oopsie.
No,
But,
I don't
but
think
yeah.
there can be any complaints. Like formations aren't rigid on the pitch. Like there are
Mm.
different roles that play. You at times you saw Redondo on the left flank and Angeldahl playing in the 10 position. At times it was Redondo at 10 and Angeldahl on the left flank. So these positions are interchangeable. Like it's all about the roles and players executing them on the pitch. So it's 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1. It's a different interpretation of the same thing, I guess. So yeah, I mean, my initial thought was number one was I wasn't expecting this heavy of a rotation. I wasn't really happy with the fact that Oyane was on the bench and Oyane wasn't starting, and we started with Antonia. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would have wanted us to start strong, but again, like, as we mentioned, this is a Levante side that is currently battling relegation. So it is as good a time as any to sort of rest some of our key players. And yeah, I mean, I'm not mad about it. Maybe I would have liked some consistency, but that is fine, I guess, because I think this game was used as the right sort of platform by a lot of players to get into that goal scoring form, which is crucial for us moving forwards as well. A little sort of storyline that we briefly touched upon as well was that three Levante players that we signed from them in the summer are all starting for us in this game. Antonia, Maria Mendez, and Alba Redondo. One of them was the captain. One of them was the leading goal scorer. One of them was a player that started all season for them in the right back position. So three very key players for them, right? So I was intrigued to see how it all pans out. And I mean, if we get into the game, if we start talking about the game, uh, immediately we started creating a lot of threat, right? Like we were consistently on the attack. We were getting into through the left hand side. We were getting into the box. We were trying to generate those shots, and Redondo was playing in that hole, the role that she has played a couple of times now. She has picked up a couple of assists playing there, and it has been a decent experiment. I would say. Would I consider it an absolute success? Probably not, because we haven't seen it tested as much. But one thing is for certain, like with Redondo in the 10 and somebody else up front, our press usually suffers. Our press isn't as good, but none of that mattered in this game because we were ahead inside the first 15 minutes of the game with Athenea scoring a brilliant goal. And that goal also, we'll get to talking about one of the key players in this game. Olga put the cross in, and Athenea finished it brilliantly with her left foot, a sort of a volley that she put into the back of the net. Great finish. But I think the main talking point where the game entirely flipped its script was the red card, right?
Yeah.
A very poor pass back from one of their defenders. The goalkeeper has to charge out to, try to clear it. Naomi Feller, as quick as she is first to the ball, and the goalkeeper handles the ball outside of her own box and was sent off. So Andrea Tarazona, who started as the goalkeeper for Levante, was sent off in the 30 around the 30-minute mark, 32nd minute,
21st.
I think. Yeah, 31st, 32nd minute. And, you know, receiving a red card is one thing, but receiving a red card being received by a goalkeeper is completely another, because it forces you to make a substitution as well. So that wastes one of your substitution. That entirely changes your plan. Because with a red card, you can immediately go full on defensive and just park the bus with the remaining 10 players on the pitch. But with a goalkeeper red card, you have to make a substitution. You have to change the entire thing, and it's. I think that is where like I sort of like lost interest in the game, because it completely took everything away, basically. So yeah, I mean, what were your thoughts on that red card? I mean, it was a clear red card, and
Yeah.
how do you think like it affected the game and the game flow?
Well, obviously it affected the game. However, I mean, there was a number during the game. You can see it in like the 15th minute. We already had like 83% possession, so it was clear we dominated from the start anyway. Actually, in the first half, they had two pretty good chances. But that's pretty much it. They did the whole half, honestly. And it always messes up the whole game plan for sure. And Ana Franco got subbed off for a goalkeeper to be able to play. Yeah, I think that was to forced to, in this team, like you I would mostly like be reminded of Chacon and Ana Franco in on this Levantes team, and when you take one of them off, it's like
Yeah,
definitely done. Chacon did manage some danger, but she was like the only one for the team managing to do something. But yeah, Ana Franco is off for Holmgren to come on, and yeah, it was definitely it was bad. And yeah, I didn't lose interest in the game. I knew that it was gonna be a bloodshed. That's not why I didn't lose the interest in the game. It's just that I was really, really focused on why were we why did we put two wingers on the pitch and we didn't use them as two wingers. So yeah, that's why I didn't lose the interest. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you look at the reason I say that it entirely like shattered Levante's any hope of sort of doing something with the game, was because right before the red card, they were starting to gain some momentum. They were getting into attacking positions, although like not a lot of them resulted in a shot. They had just two shots in the first half as well. In second half, they managed just one. So, they were at a player disadvantage, and it did not help, really, did not help their case at all. But like that completely put us in the driving seat, and we took advantage of that. Like immediately after the red card, we managed to get a penalty, which Olga absolutely skied it. So it was a very poorly taken. I don't know. That was for the first time that watching Olga take a penalty, I did not feel confident, because there was something off about her when she stepped up to take it as well. So I don't know. I just felt like she's going to miss it, and she did. She absolutely skied it there. So I don't know what it was. I don't think that there needs to be probably a change at a penalty kick, who takes the penalty kick. But yeah, I mean, there has to be some alternative as well, I think, because she has missed a couple this season. So yeah, I mean, we do have capable penalty kick takers, and maybe like if Weir was on the pitch, maybe she would have taken one of those. But yeah, it's fine, I guess. And then later on, before the end of the first half, we doubled our lead with again Athenea scoring and Angeldahl assisting. And we'll get to Angeldahl, but that was a very dramatic sort of first half. We had a good combination goal. a red card, a penalty miss, and another good combination goal. So, you had a mix of everything in that first half. What did you make of that first half overall?
Yeah, so we ended the first half on a good note, right? And going to halftime with a 2-goal lead. And yeah, even though that penalty miss happened like right maybe 44th minute or something, right? Penalty miss happened, which yeah, you're right. Yeah, it did look like she wasn't really in the mood for scoring that penalty, you know. But yeah, I didn't expect her to slide like that. But whatever. I don't deem it that important, especially in this game. It wasn't 1-0 when the penalty happened, but yeah, I don't care. But yeah, the two goals in the first half were two really good combinations between the players. And the first goal when Tere got the pass to Olga and she ran up and then found Alba there to help her from the box combine and then go wide and get it to Athenea. And as well in the second goal with Angeldahl, which I really loved her game. So I think Angeldahl carried that second goal, like definitely. And I told you in the at the end of the first half, oh my God, Angeldahl is having such a good game. I've been loving Angeldahl this game, and she just proved my point even further in the second half. So yeah, but that goal went all through her. So Holmgren kicked out the ball, and Leopold um lowered it in the that kick out and then got it to Angeldahl. And then Angeldahl, so she faced and then immediately turned. So she went towards the box. She saw fellow there at the around the edge of the box, and she couldn't do anything but just push it through to Angeldahl back. And instead of shooting, she just passed it a bit back side, like it was like a side pass towards the back to Athenea, and Holmgren also expected her to shoot, but yeah, got it to Athenea and was a clear goal. And yeah, so it was that goal. I think it was a perfect introduction to what Angeldahl did and to what I saw her doing the entire first half, trying to do well. And yeah, she was with Olga a lot, and she was trying on the wing and all that. But since you talked about the how she plays, how she receives the ball, and how she has to receive the ball, like facing the play during the Madrid derby episode. I was watching her the whole time in this game, and she was doing it, but she was so smooth with it in this game. Like she didn't have to do the wide turns, and in this game, so it was really prominent. So yeah, I'll let you speak a bit on Angeldal.
Yes, I mean, I think this was one of her, if not the best, one of the best performances for us. I think she was very involved, like she was a part of everything that we did in the final third, as you mentioned on the third goal. At that point, like if we wouldn't have gone into a goal, maybe I would have said that she could have shot because there was the opportunity to shoot there, but she went for the pass, and then she created that opportunity for Athenea to get that brace in the first half. But apart from that as well, like I shared a visualization of her performance in this game, and it definitely hits home the point that I've been talking about her presence in the half spaces and how she is able to sort of link play with the wide players, with the players on the inside, with these short passes. So if you I'll quickly highlight what I'm talking about here with the color. Yeah, so look at these small, these are all very short passes. Look at the length of them. Like it's not long, they're not, they're very tiny passes, and all of these are like exchanges. She would play these passes and she would make the run, the subsequent run, and then she'll receive it in space to make another pass. And I think that is where she shines. And look at where a lot of these are coming from. Like this is the zone that we keep talking about, her wanting to operate in, like this sort of that half zone, half space zone that we keep talking about for her wanting to be present in these zone. And this is where a lot of these are originating, like in and around here. She's combining with the wide player, she's combining with the player on the inside, and she's creating that opportunity, uh like for that goal that we saw, for Athenea in the first half. And I think the reason why I also say this was one of her better performances was because her defensive rate was also quite good. Like she was helping win the ball in the final third. She was helping press. She was helping close down those gaps. So yeah, I mean, I think this was a very good performance from Angeldahl. Do you want to add anything about those comments? I know you were very excited watching her in that first half.
Yeah, so aside, well, her sure, her obvious involvement with Olga, well, it had to be obvious, but however, the way she plays, so the way you talked about how she has to be facing the play, it happened
Yeah.
a lot when well, Tere, had a lot of involvement with Tere. So Tere was combining like from the inside. Obviously, she was in the center, and she was always there. She would know. So especially when Angeldahl went really wide and went really up, and Olga would go like bit more towards the box, so she would leave Angeldahl a bit more alone there. Immediately you would see Tere running up and saying, "Okay, I will run up and give Angeldahl the option to pass to me." And so that made the plays run smoother, So Tere also knew when to come forward. She also not just really up front, so not just around here, which I don't have. Okay, yeah, so not just around here. You can also like see around these passes around here and stuff. You would notice her with Tere. So Tere would when Angela was wide, Tere would be in this half space receiving it and combining, and then maybe passing it forward to Olga, and making these triangles on the left side, and made the game run smooth. And I really noticed like these three players really keeping the game on the left side really really well, like on the whole first half. And I was like, oh my god, and we went all through Angela, like in the center of it, and the center of all of that was Angeldahl. There were three players, but Angeldahl was in the center of it. Oh, I was like, oh my god! Like I know in the beginning of the season, I was like, I don't know what Angeldahl does. Now I do what Angeldahl does. So yeah, I really love when from the first half, and you'll see like all these classes on the left side we highlighted. That was first half. Second half was a bit different, but yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, she also, I don't know, like it might not go down as her assist, but it was her pass, that long diagonal that we see right here. This particular pass
Yep.
is the one that created the last goal, right? Like this was the pass that she played along, sort of not exactly a diagonal, but a long pass over the top, finding a player in space, and then that sixth goal
Yeah.
sort of happened. So
Olga, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's a very specific role that she excels in, but when you put her in those positions, I think she can be a game changer, and I think we saw that here. So yeah, pretty good performance. In my opinion, it was her best performance with us. But yeah, I mean, great performance. Now let's move on and talk about the second half, where we ended up scoring 4 goals, and there were some bangers. There were some really good, like Tere was absolutely involved. That third goal for Redondo, her pass was really nice. Then that her own goal, Tere's own goal was a absolute thunderbolt strike. Like that was struck with some venom.
And she didn't score an own goal. So just clear it up.
Yeah, it was a really sweet strike from her. And then we had Bruun coming on and joining the party with Carla Camacho setting her up, and that was a brilliant finish as well, sort of half volley, sort of a mirrored version of Athenea's goal from that
Yeah.
first half. Yeah. And then we had Moller putting the ball away for our sixth. And you pointed it out that all four strikers, quote unquote strikers in our squad, ended up getting a goal contribution. So Redondo got a goal, Bruun got a goal, Moller got a goal, and Carla Camacho came on and she managed to get an assist for the goal. So yeah, pretty eventful second half. What were your key takeaways in from this half?
In general, my main takeaways, except from the goals, obviously four goals, is the constant dynamics of the lineup, the formation. I couldn't keep up what was happening, especially when we made the second sub. So the first sub was at halftime. Feller got off and Evan Navarro got on. By the way, there was an injury. We haven't mentioned the injury. I hope it's nothing, but anyway. But the second, when Ayane got on, we had like a free at the back. Ayane was on the left. Everyone was on the left. Like, why was everyone on the left side? Obviously, but we had so many players there, and why was that happening? So that was like something I was really focused on. What was happening in this half? Like, I thought, okay, maybe he's setting up this game to rest Olga. Maybe he put Oyana on the left as a left center back. Actually, the free at the back. But no, she didn't come off. Olga didn't come off. She instead the last sub was Moller, and I was like, okay, for yeah, I can't remember now. Leopold, I think. And and like, why would we even do this? Why? But you know what? And we already dunked on them. Like in the first minute of the second half, we got a third goal, and that was definitely well, like 100 of percent if we weren't sure already done. So yeah, but the first two goals of the second half were done by, well, it came from Tere to go contributions. Well, as you said, she's set up Alba in the third goal, but it came from a robbery by Teres, very Tere-esque assist as well. It was a bad clearance by Levante. She took that ball and gave it to Alba, and then she finished it. Also, good finish as well by Alba there. And yeah, that rocket absolutely like under the crossbar from Tere. We knew she can do it. Obviously, she's done that. But yeah, never gets old. Never gets.
It is such a sweet feeling when the ball strikes the underneath of the bar and goes and like it just adds to the beauty of that strike somehow. Like it makes it 10 times more
Yeah,
pleasant to watch somehow.
cherry on top. Just
Yeah.
genuinely. And then we had Bruun, and then later on Muller come on. And listen, okay, I mean, sure, let's get everyone to play. Why not? But I was like, Olga was having such a fun game. She was doing well, especially when she had a fun role in the first half, especially, and I loved watching her there. But yeah, she got a goal as well. So yeah, she got subbed off. And I'm really excited to watch Bruno. However, when I see someone on fire, I'm really like, oh, she got subbed off, but yeah, sure, why not? Got a goal. So yeah, I'm not complaining anymore. And Carla also got in with Bruun, and she assisted Bruun. And that was from the right side, right? Like, Eva Navarro passed it to Carla, and she had it like a dual, like back to back sort of thing with the defender, and she managed to get it to Bruno really good. They were really happy for Carla too, really, really cute. And yeah, then Mola with that from the assist by Olga, and yeah. all four strikers from the squad getting a goal contribution. Doesn't You don't see this every day, but yeah, I think it's pretty fun. I love seeing our strikers do stuff. Obviously,
Yeah, and I think it was good because as we have mentioned in the previous part, there is an important period coming up. Touch wood, none of our strikers get injured. But if that happens, it's always good to have, all of your forwards firing, with Athenea getting the brace. She's back in the goals as well. Naomi Feller always chips in with her. That red card was basically only possible because Naomi Feller was as persistent with her pressing, with trying to win every second ball, and that is what she did, and that is what resulted in that red card. So she's always there. Linda and enough said. Like, Linda is Linda. She scored in that Madrid derby. We're again a crucial player, can score from anywhere. Bruun is scoring. Redondo is scoring as well. So it's good to have all of our forward and attacking line players sort of firing on all cylinders now, because there's a crucial crunch period sort of coming up, and we need these goals. We need these players to be firing to win those games. So yeah, I mean, it was nice. Uh, and another thing that, like, briefly, that I want to touch upon is, it won't get noticed in this game because obviously Levante did not threaten much, only 3 shots over the course of 90 minutes, and the second half was absolutely lull. But uh, I think in the first half, when they were trying to threaten, when they were trying to play through, there were a couple of mistakes on the right hand side with Antonia, and then Maria Mendez having a couple of mix-ups there. I think it once again highlighted how good Lakrar is, because she was covering everything. She was stepping up. She was clean with her challenges. Whenever she was dueling, she was winning her duels as well. And I think, like, ever since she has signed for us, she hasn't put a foot wrong. Like, everything she does, she is just super solid in everything she does. Like, her the process of her assimilating with the squad, like getting used to the squad, getting used to the players around her, has been so seamless. It feels like she has played in this league for a while, but this is her first season in the league, first season in a new team, and yet she is one of the most. I think she's the first or the second name in that back line that goes in. Olga, because we don't have a choice, but Lakrar is out of that is a decision, right? Like, playing Lakrar and changing the other center back at times. It has been Lakrar with Rocio and Maria Mendez with Lakrar. But Lakrar has been the constant one, and I think we clearly see it why, even in games where the opposition just managed to get three shots, a lot of the attacks, a lot of the threat that they were trying to create was shut down by Lakrar brilliantly. So yeah, I mean, anything you have on her? Like, did you notice some of her challenges? Did you notice how she stepped up? Do you have anything to add on her performance?
yeah, she was. Listen, so we had like two big mishaps against Chacon. Well, it was both times Maria Mendez, like you mentioned, and the center backs were switched again. So Lakara played on the left and Mendez on the right. So yeah, and Chacon had those two big chances saved by Misa as well. But it's just whenever you see like Alakra was covering a lot. You will see her everywhere. You will see her like knowing when to come for Chacon, like intercept before she would get to. They were trying to obviously get to Chacon. That was obvious, when everyone would know that Levante would pass to Chacon. And she would always know. She would when to put a foot forward in the duels. Always like they were like I remember like three big moments from Lacra in this game. And yeah, yeah, sure, it will go unnoticed because of this scoreline. But there's always in these big scorelines that we have like these defensive mishaps, and then we have talking about Lacra, saving the rest of the defense. So Yeah, it's like a general. But she did put the foot wrong once. I think she had her own goal on this season. We don't talk about that though. But she had a good game that game. I don't remember which
We
game
can
though.
forgive that own goal, I guess. We can
Yeah,
forget about it. It's like it never happened.
she had a good game that game as well. I can't remember the exact game, the opponent, but I know we talked about she had a good game, and then she just yeah, it was just a moment and stuff. But yeah, we don't count it.
Yeah. She gets a free pass.
Yeah.
She gets one goal free pass. So no need to worry about that. But yeah, I mean, I think that is about it in terms of discussion of about the game. Let's choose our MVP of the game. I would like to ask you first. Who do you think should be the MVP?
Yeah, well, I don't think this is a surprise. It's definitely Angeldahl for me. Just great game, and listen. First of all, the official MVP is Athenea. I get it; she scored the brace.
Yeah,
However, I think Angeldahl's game was much more noticeable with everything she did on the pitch. So yeah, Angeldahl for me.
I'm torn between Angeldahl and Tere.
Yeah.
Since Tere scored that brilliant screamer, I would give it to her, like just to be just so that she gets her bit of recognition as well. I think it was a good game from her as well. So yeah, I mean, Angeldahl has played at the senior level for a while now. I'm going to give this prestigious MVP award from Las Blancas to Tere. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll choose Tere. I mean, it's a coin toss between Tere and Angeldahl for me, but I'll go with Tere maybe because of her uh, impeccable strike for that goal. But yeah, so that is about it. Next up, we have Granada in the league, and from Roger Lamesa's one team to Roger Lamesa's previous team, I think. So it's going to be fun. Hopefully we win and we manage to keep a clean sheet again. I think that would be a good way to set tone for the year. A derby win, a big win, and another. It's about time we start stitching these wins and start building these runs because it's important as the season progresses. So yeah, and we will be back with the new episode when that game happens. We'll break it down for you, and hopefully we'll have a lot of talking points, and it will be a 11v11 where we can break down a lot of the tactical aspects as well, because this game got ruined by the red card because we were playing with a player advantage for most of the, like, two-thirds of the game, and that definitely skews a lot of the metrics and a lot of the tactics that you want to highlight, basically. So yeah, hopefully another win against Granada and another 3 points. And until next time, Ala Madrid.
Real Madrid.